Chapter 58. In one of the stalls was piles of hay. Colt tensed his shoulders. In the hay was a body. I knew it very well. It was Harlt's. Alpha must have gotten to him first. We walked over to his body wearing the same brown suit. Colt kicked at it. He didn't move. Was it over? Colt looked at Harlt's a moment. Grabbing the arm, he pulled it over to see his face. On the neck was a large bite and scratch marks, the white collar torn. This is Alpha's doing. But the blood on here isn't Harlt's, it's Alpha's. I can tell something attacked back but couldn't stop him. Colt bent down, started to inspect the wounds. All of a sudden, with a shattering jolt, Harlt's head started to move. His arm came up toward Colt. Colt had jumped back instinctively. As I thought, the body was too heavy, no blood. Another animatronic. He kicked Harlt's head. It started to make a strange sound like it was dialing up something. Colt kicked it again and it stopped. "What now?" I asked. Well, I'm sure Alpha figured this out as well. He's still out there looking for the real Harlt's, but being injured, he won't be able to keep up the appearance long. We are running out of time. A horse at the front of his stall neighed out. "Excuse me, young man, if you give me one of those apples, I can answer any question you have about Fairy Tale Land." It was definitely a goofy-sounding voice to be sure, but very interesting as well. What was Fairy Tale Land? Interesting. Colt picked up an apple from a barrel. It was plastic. He put it up to the horse's mouth carefully. Fake sounds of chewing came from the horse. "Ah, thank you, young man. Now what is your question?" "Where is Harlt's?" "Sorry, the name does not ring a bell." Sigh. He put the apple back up to the horse's mouth with the same sounds. "What's Fairy Tale Land?" "Why, it's this very park where you stand, full of rides and fun for all ages." We looked at each other. "It doesn't know Harlt's? And what is it talking about Harlt's Land being called Fairy Tale Land?" Did Harlt's take over another park? But there was nothing before Harlt's Lands, so I thought. We asked every animatronic about Harlt's. Not one knew the name. It was so strange, but there was one new animatronic amongst them all, a rooster. When we saw it, the cold red eyes brightened. "Cock-a-doodle day to you, young man. Feed me some corn and I can answer what you truly wish to know." Colt picked up a plastic corn, walked it over to the rooster, flipping the corn toward the rooster. All of a sudden, a sound came from the rooster's chest. I looked at Colt, who stood back, grabbing his shoulder. A small dart was in his arm. He looked at the rooster. "Harlt's?" It started to flash its eyes with a crowing alarm. He fell to the ground slowly. I wanted to go to him, but I heard the door unlock. "It's just a dart to put me out. I'll be all right. Hide," he whispered. I did as I was told, ducking into the stall with the horse, covering myself with as much hay as I could. Footsteps walked up to Colt, who was already out, or at least he pretended to be. "Another one," I heard the voice say. Another deeper voice spoke. "Mr. Harlt's, what should we do with him?" I heard that rooster's voice. It sounded cheerful as always. "Take him down to the others. I may need to use him later." "Yes, sir." "There was a girl with him. She may still be here out of my viewing." The men looked around, asked each animal, "Is there a girl in your stall?" All said no. When they came to the horse, I knew I was to be found. I still held as still as I could. "Unicorn, is a girl in your stall?" "There is nug." It's glitching, but I heard a no. "Okay, Unicorn, turn off." The horse bowed its head and turned off. "She's gone, Mr. Harlt's. Should we send a team to look for her?" "Yes, of course. The first to find her will get a vial of bliss." "Thank you, Mr. Harlt's." I could hear the dragging of his body and some other strange sound. The door never reopened or shut. There had to be a passage in here. After I was sure they were gone, I stood up, dusting the hay off me. The rooster's eyes were off. I patted the horse that turned back on. "I know you might not understand, but thank you for not telling on me." The horse turned its head and nudged me. "Those two never give me apples to eat." I handed him an apple with the sounds of crunching. "Can you tell me what you are? Are you an animatronic life of some sort?" I was coded and programmed with the many thoughts of horses. Brains were scanned, and then one day by just pure oddity, because they were trying to teach me how to speak human, but with only horse code it couldn't be done, so a human coded himself into me. It took some doing, but it finally worked. They hadn't done the others that are here before they no longer came. I can learn new things now. I know the name Harlt's and have added it to my memory banks for future questions. But I thought anything animatronic can't lie. I didn't lie, did I? I said, ooh, not no. The horse let out.